So now let's go ahead and create a separate component to handle the to-do logic. So because obviously we don't need just to display the to-do title inside the console log. We need to handle the to-do logic inside a separated component. And in order to do that, we need to create like a new component inside the components, a new to-do component. But I just noticed that the loader extension is GSX, and it's completely okay. It will make no difference. But since we are using TypeScript, let's rename it into TypeScript. Sorry about that. It should be TSX, not GSX. It should be TSX, but it will not affect the overall operation. The overall process will still the same. So let's go ahead now and create a to-do dot tsx component, and this to-do component will be like the same. So let's import React from React. Here we need to const create a function called to do, and that will equal to an overall function, and that will return something like to do. And let's go down here and export default the to do function, to do component. Let's save this and let's go ahead here and import it inside the app components. Import to do from to do from components and to do. Okay. And down here, instead of this, we just need to display to do components. Let's save for now and let's get back into our application, and you can see that the to-do text is being displayed like 10 times because we have 10 to-do inside our to-dos state inside here. So we have 10 and it's displaying it like 10 times because obviously it's mapping through it. But what we need to do right now, we need to have the to-do object, each to-do object inside the to-do component, because obviously we need to have the to-do logic inside this to-do component. In order to do that, we need to pass the to-do item or the to-do object like a prop into this to-do component. And this is another important concept of the React components. Each React components can accept a prop or property. This is like a shorthand for property. It's called prop. So what basically is prop is like a piece of data you need to pass to this component in order to let this component use this data. In our case, we just need to pass the to-do data. How we can pass it? We can create a prop name. Let's call it anything prop. You can call it prop, but in this case, it makes sense to call it like to do prop. And inside this prop, we need to pass the real data, which is this to do object. All right. So now we have this error. It's basically a TypeScript error, and it's complaining about this to do component. It doesn't have this property declared here. It doesn't have this prop declared here. So basically what we need to do, we need to handle or accept the prop inside this to do. And in order to do that, we need to pass the name of the prop, which is this to do. And now you can see that the error being disappeared. Now, because we are having this to do inside, or this prop inside this to do component. But now we have another error, and it's um, just saying that to do is declared, but its value is never read. So in order to handle this, and this is another concept we need to handle inside React and TypeScript. For each component, when we create a component, we need to declare the type of this component. This is first. And also we need to declare the type of each component properties or each component props. So in this case, we need to declare this to-do type, which is a functional component. This is the type of it. And each or the prop type of this component, which is this to-do type. So how we can handle that? So to declare the component type, basically you can use colon, and we can use something from React called functional component type. So basically we just need to use this React. Inside it we have FC, which refers to functional component. So this component, now React understand that this component is a functional component type. But also inside this functional component, we need to declare the type of this to do. So in order to do that, sorry, not the type of this to do, the type of the props. So any prop, we can have any how much we want as a props. So let's have prop 1 and prop 2. All these props can be passed through this to do component. But first we need to have these and get, let's say, get these props inside this component. So let's get this prop 1 and prop 2 inside this component, right? This prop 1 and prop 2. And we need to, all destructed elements are unused. Yeah, exactly, because we don't have any type right now declared for these props. So we need to have like an interface declaring this props types. So let's create an interface called props, and this interface, let's create it right here. Interface props, right? Is it the right one? Yeah, props. And the props will have to do, and this to do should be an object of these properties we just created here. So this is the type of this to do. So what I'm thinking about right now, let's for now just have this, copy it, and get into here, paste it here. So this is the type of this to do. But what is better than this, we can, inside the source, we can create a separate folder and call this types. And inside this types, let's create a to do dot types dot tsx. Okay. And let's export to do type as a, sorry, it should be a type to do type and will be equal to these properties. So this is the to do type. Let's have this here and let's save this for now. For now, we don't need to use this. We basically just need to import to do type from to do. Let's go up one level and go to do or types. Yes, and inside it we have to do dot types. So now we have to do type. It's declared, yeah, it's correct, because we need to use it right here. We need to import this in curly braces because it's not like the default, not like exporting as a default. We can export it as a default, but it's okay. We can export it like export type, to do type, and import it inside curly braces. In this case, we can import how much we want from this file. But never mind. Basically, the main idea here that we have the to do type, and it's inside another file, just importing it and use it as a type. So now the to do has this to do type, and also we need to declare inside this interface the type of prop1, and let's say it's a string, or let's say it's a boolean. All right, and also we have the type of prop2, and also it's a boolean. Okay, so now you can see that the errors are gone, because we successfully declared every piece of data type inside our application. So now there's no issues with TypeScript. And believe me, the worst things in the world is to have issues with TypeScript, because you will have it all through your face every time you open your any code or any piece of code inside the application, and it will not run, and it will persist every time. So I'm just telling you that you need to handle your application from the start, dealing with TypeScript. Every time you create a component, you just need to have its type, and also its props types inside this component. So I just wanted to declare for you how we can handle this component types and this props types with TypeScript and React. So in the next video, we'll start implementing the logic of this to do component. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next.